Hey, empowered educators. Welcome back to the Empowered Educator Podcast. I'm Dr. Mel, and today I'm going to be talking about something that hits home for a lot of you, especially if you're an assistant principal who's about to interview for the principalship at your own school. I'm going to be talking about those high-stakes internal interviews when the people you've been working alongside suddenly become your interview panel and you've got 20 minutes or less to convince them that you're ready to take the lead. Today's episode was inspired by a real conversation that I had with one of my clients just recently who said that they've got a principal interview coming up at their high school and they're already an AP at that school. And they wanted just a little bit of help to prepare for what was probably going to be a rigorous interview. So if that's you, or if you're even thinking about going for a principalship, let's talk about how to prepare with clarity, confidence, and intention. Hi, friend. Are you ready to move into a leadership position? Do you have interests and ambitions that you want to pursue, but feel like you don't know how to take that next step? Maybe you want to start your own coaching or consulting agency. I'm Mel, and I help educators define their career path through correct mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for your career transition. I will show you how to level up your leadership skills, share your expertise in a new way, create impact on a larger scale, and put your leadership in motion. As an educator for over 20 years, I started to feel underused and like I had more to give. I knew when the time had come for me to leave the classroom and affect change on a larger level. Now, I'm ready to help you determine where your talents and skills mesh with your passions and interests, put your leadership in motion, and move into that next phase of your educational career journey. Let me help you define your career path by having the right mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for that next leadership position. So power up and put your leadership in motion. Before we get into strategy, I want to say that if you've already been serving in the building as an AP, you're not just interviewing for a job. You're stepping into a role that you've already been shaping behind the scenes. You've been helping build those systems. You've been helping manage teams. You've probably already dealt with parents, I'm sure you have as an AP, and with teachers, and with district folks at a high level. You've seen the gaps, and you've likely been part of the solutions. So in an interview, it's not about proving you can lead because you're already leading. It's about owning the leadership that you've already been demonstrating and then casting a vision for what's next. Remember, the job isn't brand new to you, the title is. So let's talk about 4 core leadership areas that you need to show up strong in during that interview. Number 1 is vision for the school. You have to walk in with a vision, not just for the 30, 60, or 90 days, but for the next year, for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years. Ask yourself, what does student success look like here, and how are we tracking toward it? How can I elevate what's already working while boldly addressing what's not and courageously addressing what's not? What do I want our students, teachers, and families to feel when they walk into this school under my leadership? And what data do I need to monitor to drive that vision forward? Your vision doesn't have to be flashy. It has to be clear and grounded in the community that you already know. Number 2 is equity and culture. This is huge, because every district is watching how leaders create belonging, especially for students who've been underserved for way too long. So think about your context of your geographical location and think about things like, how will I make sure that Black and Brown students, ELLs, special education students, and students from low-income families feel seen, heard, and supported? What systems will I put in place to ensure culturally responsive practices are consistent across classrooms? How will I retain diverse educators and support their growth and leadership? And what will I do in year 1 to create a school climate rooted in dignity, high expectations, and joy? You're not just leading instruction, you're leading hearts and minds. Number 3, instructional leadership. And you know this is my area. This is where I thrive. They will absolutely want to know how you will lead teaching and learning. Because guess what, guys? That's what we're in the business of, teaching and learning. And this is where you're going to want to shine with your approach to observing instruction and giving feedback that actually leads to growth. How you'll support and develop new teachers without leaving your veteran teachers to fend for themselves. Your system for using data to drive real conversations and action, not just compliance. A commitment to instructional equity. Are students in every classroom experiencing rigor, engagement, and support? This is your chance to show that you're not just a manager, you're an instructional leader. Number 4, navigate internal dynamics. Woo! This one is the spicy one. Because yes, when you're already in the building, the people interviewing you might include people who are right now your peers, or have been in the past, or even folks who wanted the role themselves. So you've got to address, how will I build trust and unity among staff, even if some of them didn't want me in this role? And you're going to have some that don't want you in that role. And that's various reasons. It's not because they don't think you're good at your job or they don't like you. Maybe they are comfortable with things the way they are right now. Or maybe they are hiding and they don't want to be seen if someone new comes in. What does shared leadership look like under my leadership? How will I balance the relationships that I already have while still holding people accountable to the shared goals? And what's my plan for reintroducing myself as the principal, not the assistant principal? This shows emotional intelligence, courage, and maturity. I want to give you 3 high-impact questions, bonus questions, if you will, that I actually want you to practice out loud. Record yourself if you can, because delivery matters just as much as the content. So here's the first question. How will you build trust with staff who may have wanted this position or who didn't support your appointment? This shows humility and leadership maturity. Number 2, how will you measure your success as a principal in your first 90 days and after your first full year? This is going to show clarity and intentionality. Number 3, what is one thing that you would stop, start, or sustain in your school and why? Your answer is going to show strategic thinking and school knowledge. You're already leading, guys. Now it's just time to articulate that leadership with clarity. So here's your next step. Choose one of those big questions. Record yourself answering it like you're already the principal. Listen back. Would you hire you? If the answer is not quite, don't panic. Just keep practicing. Make sure that you are delivering your answers with confidence and poise and clarity. Don't stammer over your words. And when I have podcast guests, I always tend to make sure that I talk to them about saying like and And I say it occasionally, but I try really hard not to. That's something you should look for in your recording as well. That will help you notice those things, because somebody who says like and a lot, it gets very distracting and it muddies the waters. And if you've got a real interview coming up and need that one-to-one prep or mock interview session, you know where to find me. I do coaching for your resume and cover letter. And also I do coaching for practicing those interviews. I love helping leaders walk into those interview rooms ready to own it. All right, empowered educators, that's a wrap for today. If this episode spoke to you, forward it to a colleague who's applying for a leadership role, or tag me on social media at Mel Vandevort. And listen, friend, whether you're stepping into the interview room or still building your courage to apply, just know this: you've been called for a reason. Don't shrink back. Step forward. Until next time, stay empowered, stay anchored in your purpose, and keep leading with heart. Bye-bye.